April 4, 2025, marked a historic moment in the world as the dawn of a new era began for the Catholic Church. The first rays of sunlight, painting the Roman sky with shades of rose and gold, set the stage for an extraordinary day in the Vatican. It was no ordinary morning, for on this day Pope Leo XIV, formerly Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, awoke to begin his papacy as the first Asian pope in history. His rise to the papacy marked a profound shift, symbolizing the Church's evolving global face. Pope Leo XIV's journey was one not only of faith but of great responsibility. A shepherd to over 1.3 billion souls, he carried with him the hopes and dreams of Catholics worldwide. In the quiet of the papal apartments, there was a sense of peace that emanated from the newly appointed pope. Despite the heavy burden of his responsibilities, there was a calm assurance in his heart. He was called to continue the legacy of St. Peter, the first pope. This legacy called him to be a fisher of men, a beacon of hope to the world, shining a light through the darkness of our times. His sense of purpose was clear, and it was rooted in his faith. As he rose from bed, there was a quiet joy in his heart. A divine purpose guided his every step as he prepared to meet the challenges and triumphs that awaited him in this new role. Pope Leo XIV's first hours as the leader of the Catholic Church were filled with quiet moments of reflection. His papal apartments, steeped in history, now had a subtle Filipino touch. Intricate Filipino decor adorned the walls, telling the story of his cultural heritage. The sweet scent of sampaguita jasmine flowers, a favorite from his homeland, filled the air. These small yet meaningful touches served as a gentle reminder of home and his roots in the Philippines. The presence of these elements grounded him in his identity while embarking on this sacred journey as the Pope. In a moment of solitude, Pope Leo XIV knelt in prayer, his rosary beads comforting in his hands. As he prayed, he sought guidance and wisdom, asking for the strength to lead the Church and fulfill his divine calling. His prayers were not just for himself, but for the world. He prayed for unity, for justice, for peace, and for an end to suffering. His heart was heavy with the weight of his responsibilities, but his spirit was lifted by hope. His prayers reached out beyond the walls of the Vatican, embracing humanity across the globe. His prayers were a blend of traditional Catholic devotion and the simplicity of Filipino spirituality, creating a beautiful fusion that reflected his personal journey and the diverse influences that shaped his faith. As the morning light streamed into the chapel, it seemed almost like a blessing, a sign of hope and new beginnings. Pope Leo XIV was ready to face the day, his heart full of hope and his spirit strengthened by prayer. The first few hours of his papacy were filled with activity. The Vatican corridors buzzed with anticipation as preparations were made for the day ahead. Among the many tasks that awaited him, one of the first was to make important appointments that would set the tone for his papacy. The College of Cardinals, a group of senior church leaders, eagerly awaited his guidance. Their faces reflected a mix of hope and curiosity as they wondered how this new era would unfold. Pope Leo XIV's first decision was symbolic of his priorities. He appointed a young, dynamic cardinal from Latin America to head the dicastery for the promotion of integral human development. This role was crucial in addressing global issues like social justice, poverty, and human dignity. It was a clear sign of the Pope's commitment to the marginalized and his vision for a compassionate and inclusive church. The new Pope also appointed a renowned journalist and media expert to head the Vatican's communication efforts. Recognizing the importance of modern media, Pope Leo XIV understood that to reach the hearts and minds of people today, the Church needed to engage more effectively with the digital and media landscapes. This move showed his desire to make the Church's message more accessible, especially to the younger generation. These appointments were not just administrative tasks, they were a reflection of the Pope's vision for a Church that is proactive, compassionate, and in tune with the world's needs. As the morning progressed, Pope Leo XIV met with his cardinals, his demeanor humble yet strong. He listened intently to their advice and shared his thoughts on the Church's mission. His words spoke of unity, of the need for dialogue, and the Church's role in bringing hope to a world often filled with darkness. His message resonated deeply with the cardinals, who were captivated by his gentle yet firm presence. The Pope's leadership was evident not only in his actions, but also in his ability to inspire those around him. As the day went on, the Vatican halls, usually filled with whispers and speculations, were alive with excitement. Pope Leo XIV's arrival had ushered in a new dynamic. The Curia, the administrative body of the Church, was filled with a sense of anticipation. Some were excited for the change he represented, eager for a fresh perspective. Others, more accustomed to the old ways, watched with curiosity and a touch of apprehension. Yet there was one thing everyone could agree on. Pope Leo XIV's arrival marked a pivotal moment in the history of the Church. The Pope's first public address came later in the day from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica. As he looked out over the throngs of faithful gathered in St. Peter's Square, his message was simple yet profound. He spoke of love, compassion, and the need for unity in a fractured world. He called on the faithful to be instruments of peace, to reach out to the marginalized, and to live out the gospel message in their daily lives. His words, delivered in his gentle yet firm voice, resonated far beyond Vatican City. They were broadcast around the world, sparking a wave of hope and renewal. As his words echoed through the square, the faithful responded with tears, joy, and applause. Banners waved representing the diverse global Church. For many, this speech was not just a moment of celebration, it was a promise, a vision of a more inclusive, just, and compassionate Church. The impact of his words extended far beyond the square, with social media buzzing with reflections, world leaders offering their support, and the world watching with anticipation. As the sun set on Pope Leo XIV's first day, a sense of hope filled the air. The challenges ahead were clear, but so was the Pope's unwavering faith, humility, and compassion. His first 24 hours had been a glimpse of the man and the vision he held for the Church. The journey had just begun, and the world was watching with bated breath, eager to see how this new era